Here's me whining because I didn't have a project to make, and when I don't have a project, I feel really lost. But then I found a note in my phone that said, "Worm Animal Man, there's a doodle in your purse." So I got my purse, and I found a really awful doodle, but I got the idea. And with that, I was happy again. So, I went to the store and I got two things that I think will be of great use. One of them being this very sick dinosaur that I think has some good potential to be a good body for our worm animal man. And the second one is this terrifying baby. But I think I can salvage these arms and legs, and they should be pretty easy to remove. Time to rip some limbs off. Okay, should be pretty easy to remove. Should be pretty easy. And I have some nice limbs. Is that good ASMR, or is it just loud and annoying? It's probably just loud and annoying. So the idea is to cut these limbs off and then just put the baby ones on. I think this plastic is going to be like soft enough that I can just cut the limbs off, which is great for me because I don't really feel like getting up and getting my Dremel. Oh, amazing. And then what I'm hoping is that I can just, oh my god, yes, it works perfectly. I can just slip those into place. Oh, this is gonna be horrible. I'm so excited. One thing I do need to do is I need to get these limbs. I want to get them bent. I need to bend them so that the wrists, I think, lay a little bit more flat, but I don't want this like weird buckling to happen. So I've got to figure that out. But I think it's very doable. I hope anyways. I think a lot of this project would have gone much, much faster if I just didn't play with all the toys. I bulked out the body with some foil and began attaching the limbs using hot glue and foam clay. So now that that's done, I'm going to fill this in and make my worm guy head. I made an armature for my worm guy head. Okay. And then spent several hours on the couch sculpting. My favorite tool to use while sculpting is actually just the tip of a barbecue skewer. Hello. If I look really tired, that's because I am. And I just woke up from a very intense power nap. So, I stayed up way too late last night re-sculpting the head because I hated it, but this time it looks much, much better. Can it focus? There we go. It looks much, much better this time. And yeah, so it was worth scrapping. I also decided to shove a sharp stick through this little baby hand, and I think I'm gonna give it like a banner to carry around. So today's steps are going to be attach this head somehow and hopefully make it look good. And then do the foam clay bit again for the head and the body. And then I have to figure out how to make the foam clay blend in with this, because it doesn't hold detail super well, nor does it stick to anything. But I am cheap and I don't want to go buy another kind of air dry clay. So I'm not going to, but I will make something else work because I always do. So the foam clay is a bad idea for this. Don't do it. I ripped it all off because it's just not working. But we are going to find other questionable solutions to try out, and then we'll try them out. And hopefully they'll work. So I think the back of this could make for a really good saddle. I just need to cut the face off. Okay, perfect. And let's try it out. I think that'll be perfect. This is clear silicone caulk. I have a theory that if I wet it down, I can sculpt it to look like the texture of the rest of this. So I'm gonna try that. I have it, and in the vein of exploration and experimentation, I think it'll be fun to try it out. Is it going to be easier than just going down the road and buying some air dry clay? No. And it's probably not a better solution either. But I don't know, I kind of just want to try it and see if it works. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I know this looks really weird, but I think it's gonna work. So instead of trying to smooth it out, I just put the texture everywhere, covering up the original texture of all of the pieces. It has this really gross, like, dimply kind of effect, and I put it all over the baby limbs as well. And I'm thinking it might actually look kind of cool once it's painted. I have no idea. It could end up looking really bad, but it's something. It is in fact something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. Now that it has a saddle, it has to have a rider. Why did I do this? So sometimes I sculpt these weird little guys, and I never painted this one, but I really like its head, and I'm not super crazy about the foot. So let's use him. We're gonna sculpt. What do you think? What do you think of him?
Not a fan of that.
You don't like him?
Mom, none of this is food. Is this one food?
What do you think?
Jesus Christ. Why did you make
I
that?
don't think you like that. So I made a little torso and some little legs and the base for some little arms so that I can hopefully attach everything together for this little guy. And then he can ride the beast. Despite having glasses, I still have very, very bad eyesight, so I sculpted most of the knight off camera because I need to hold everything about an inch away from my face, and that doesn't really make great footage, so this is the best you're gonna get. I'm sorry I'm like this. Anyways, I think he's looking pretty cool. Don't look at his butt, it's not good. And neither is what's going on down here. But you won't see it because he'll sit on a saddle. He also has arms. So, what's next? Make a war banner. Paint. Assemble. And I said I wasn't going to make a base, but I'm going to make a base.
A rare sighting of a dirt goblin. This female dirt goblin is on high alert, making sure none of her neighbors see her in this vulnerable position.
Now, when you're harvesting your dirt, please make sure that you clean it. I don't put mine through a strainer, but I do bake it at about 200 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, just to get rid of anything that could be living inside of it. I then started sculpting the base out. I didn't really want it to be anything too fancy. This is just a piece of wood from my backyard. But I did manage to build the sides up just a bit more, so it gave the illusion of a road. A little pathway that the knight and his beast can be traveling down. I then went over the whole thing with a layer of watered down glue, just to try to keep as much of it in place as I could. I then got our beast and pressed it into the soil, leaving little footprints behind. I got a piece of this plastic packaging and drew out my banner. I then took this outside and put a mask on and heated it over some flame to melt it into a wavy-like shape. Now, paint does not stick to this, so I gave it a stippling with wood glue because I guess that's just my favorite material in the whole world. I got my foam clay back out and decided I wanted to make some packs for the back of the beast. I used some leather cording to wrap a few of them up, and then while they were still drying, I stuck them onto the beast so that they would all stick together. Now that the silicone was all over the creature, the foam clay actually could stick to that, so I felt like it was better to attach them all while they were wet so they could adhere together. I base coated the whole beast in a black paint, and then I moved on to the knight. I gave him a nice silver coating for his armor, and then gave him this really pale, fleshy color for his face. dry brushed his face with a warmer tone, and then got my watercolor pen and went into any of the deeper wrinkles. This helps me a lot because I didn't want to totally wash the face and tone it purple, but I wanted those super high contrasts in the wrinkles, and I don't have very steady hands, and I'm not good at mixing washes either, so this is my workaround, and as long as you seal everything, you're good. I mixed up an appropriately disgusting fleshy color for the beast and painted that on. I dry brushed over the whole beast with a white color to kind of desaturate it and bring out like a dry skin kind of effect. And it was really gross, so I liked it. I then painted the eyes, and again, my eyesight is so terrible and my hands are so shaky. I just did the rest of it off camera, that way I could try to keep it as clean as possible. Back to the base once it was dried, I went over the whole thing in a light coat of white. I speckled on some black paint and realized that was not doing enough, so I just went in with a super heavy black wash to a few areas. Then up and down the middle, I put on this cream color to, you know, like how a path is like super worn down the middle? So that's what I was doing. For the banner, I did the same watercolor pen technique. You know, some people make these like amazing banners, and I'm so jealous of it, but I refuse to put in the effort. It stresses me out. But I did my best and managed to paint a few little details, even if they're crusty. It was good enough for me, and then I remembered there was an entire back. I wasn't happy about that. It wasn't looking good enough to me, so just around the black borders on the purple areas, I put another coat of watercolor pen. I painted up the pole for the war banner. I painted the seat a nice purple color for the beast. put some super glue on the tips of the horns because I found these jewelry caps and I thought they'd make really great miniature horn caps. And they did. All that was left to do was give the packs a nice brown coat, make some reins, and put our knight on. Well, it's done. And I think it's my favorite thing I've ever made. I'm pretty happy with this guy. Yeah, look how cool that is. Okay. My dad always taught me that it wasn't important if you didn't have the right tools or the right experience. It just mattered that you wanted to do it and that you would find a way to do it. Even if it meant experimenting, possibly failing. As long as you were enjoying it and learning something, it didn't really matter what you used. In the Manus Empire, you're born with a hand atop your head. If you're born with a right hand on your head, you're destined to be honorable and strong. And if you're born with a left hand on your head, you will possess magical abilities. Most knights of the Manus Empire are left-handed. Not having to forge any weaponry to carry into battle saves the Empire labor and materials that could be better put to use. The knight's cavalry are usually seen riding a Fachem beast. These creatures are perfect for battle due to their alert behavior, ability for simple communication, and strength to carry the wounded and looted goods back. Oh yeah, and thanks for watching. Subscribe.
Or don't.
Okay. Bye. He's gotta have. Okay.